It's Thursday, July 10th. This is CTV at 6. Here's what's making news tonight. A standoff comes to an end when a man barricaded in a home is shot by police. Evacuations are ordered after fires break out, including at an abandoned school.
And risk of thunder showers will end the week with rain before the sun returns this weekend.
Live from our Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 6. Here is Todd Battis.
Good evening. A man is in hospital with serious injuries after he was shot by police this morning, ending an overnight standoff in Halifax. The man was shot after barricading himself and another person in a home. Now, during the ordeal with officers outside, he called CTV News. Our Bruce Frisco has the details.
According to police, the incident began just before 7 p.m. Wednesday night, with officers responding to reports of a barricaded man on Arlington Avenue in the West End. A short news release acknowledged a police operation in the area, asking bystanders to stay away, all of it unsettling for neighbors.
I was out on a bike ride coming off the Trans-Canada Trail, and obviously I saw the police officers and cars down there, and I was unable to come up the hill to my house.
I am not lying.
A surprise development just after 9 p.m. when a man claiming to be the suspect called CTV News. Flustered but polite, he insisted the problem stemmed from an incident in Ontario, one that he tried unsuccessfully to resolve with police. The police are outside your house right now?
I am being railroaded because of something that happened, and I can prove this, and they know this, because of something that happened up in Ontario.
The man said he was in the house with his daughter. The line went dead shortly after, and he never called back. Police say the suspect made threats all night long, and despite the efforts of crisis negotiators and the emergency response team, there was little movement. Electricity was cut to a wide swath of the neighborhood and then a more narrow section of the block.
Did you hear anything?
Well, I heard police on loudspeakers last night speaking to whoever was in the house, presumably.
You are under arrest. Come to the front door.
Nearly 12 hours later, with the sun already up, a dramatic end to the incident echoing through the area.
At approximately 7:10 this morning, that man did point a firearm at our officers, at which time our officers returned fire and shot the man.
The Serious Incident Response Team is now leading the investigation. It says the weapon was pointed out a window. Police described the man's injuries as serious but non-life-threatening. He was taken to hospital but remains in custody. A woman in the house was removed a short time later, but officers remained on the scene for much of the day.
And we can tell you that Arlington Avenue reopened just after 1 p.m. today, and the investigation very much ongoing. Police have said the woman was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. There's no word where she is tonight, and there's also no word on charges the man may be facing, but of course they would have to be laid sometime before tomorrow morning, which is about 24 hours after those shots rang out, Todd.
Indeed, and Bruce, we know you'll be keeping an eye on that, and we'll have any update tonight in the late news at 11:30. Bruce Frisco in the newsroom starting us off. Police have made an arrest in a stabbing case in North Preston. 24-year-old Tyrese Seymour Byrne has been charged with attempted murder. A 22-year-old man was wounded yesterday morning. Police say the men know each other. The suspect appeared in court today. Two major fires in the span of a few hours in Glace Bay have leveled a pair of buildings, including an abandoned school. And that forced the evacuation of a number of homes. Some neighbors and the fire chief have long worried this would happen. Our Ryan McDonald tells us why.
Crews spent the morning putting out hotspots and starting to demolish the former Morrison High School in Glace Bay after a fire around 7 this morning gutted the abandoned building.
It kind of scared me, and I looked up the street and I seen Morrison School on fire.
This building is going to be a total loss except for the gymnasium part of it.
Behind the former school, at least 8 homes on Catherine Street were evacuated until fire crews could ensure that flames didn't spread to those properties.
There's got to be something going on in Glace Bay. There's definitely got to be something. Whatever, I don't know.
Just a few blocks away, another fire had happened here a few hours earlier in the middle of the night at a building that was part of the local fish plant. That fire, called in around midnight, took about 5 hours to put out, only for firefighters to be called to the former school a short time later. The fire chief says there is little doubt both are suspicious.
2 fires within 7 hours of each other in vacant buildings. I immediately turned it over to the fire marshal.
Residents and elected officials have for years been worried that the old school was a fire hazard.
This building has been abandoned for a long time, and since I became elected, it's been the biggest concern that this would catch fire. I know the fire departments, they had a plan that in place and they practiced it.
We knew it was coming, and we were able to draft it at Renwick Brook because the brook is not frozen. This would have been a total different fire in the middle of the winter.
The fire chief says police have been speaking with neighbors and asking them for things like doorbell camera footage in an effort to determine the exact cause. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Glace Bay.
A case of measles has been confirmed in Sussex. The case is believed to be related to another person from outside the province who was traveling in the region June 22nd and 23rd. Public Health believes there are likely other cases of measles in the area. A vaccine clinic is underway right now until 8:30 at the Public Health Office in Sussex. Swimmers were allowed in the water today at Parlee Beach after poor water quality yesterday. But a test result from earlier this week revealed a staggering bacteria level far above what is deemed to be acceptable to be in the water. CTV's Derek Haggett reports.
From red to green, staff switched no swim signs to water open late this morning at Parlee Beach. No swimming advisories were in place Tuesday and Wednesday after tests revealed high bacteria levels. Data revealed a test sample collected Monday contained over 7,200 units of Enterococcus. That was well over 7,000 units more for the same date in 2024 and 2023. The Red Dot Association of Shediac Bay called Monday's spike alarming, saying in all the years they've been monitoring the water quality issues here at Parlee Beach, they have never seen it that high.
Well, the fact is, when you look at this, it's 7,000 units. And the standard, when they put the no swimming advisory, is 70. So you go from 70 to 7,000, you're 100 times more problematic.
CTV News asked the province to confirm if Monday's count was accurate or an anomaly, but no answer was provided. Animal waste, either wild or domestic, is believed to be a factor in the high bacteria counts. The beach isn't closed during advisories, but swimmers are warned there are risks.
Down, down, down.
Today's green signs, a relief for tourists.
Today was the one day that was going to make sense in our schedule for us in New Brunswick to come to the beach.
To be honest with you, I didn't know that there was a sign up yesterday saying we couldn't swim, and it didn't seem like anyone had a problem with swimming.
Most don't get sick, but Melanson says everyone has a different immune system.
You got kids, you got elderly people, and you got also people with immune disease, immune system. So if you got that, those are the ones that are more vulnerable.
Derek Haggett, CTV News, Pointe-aux-Chenes, New Brunswick.
So in tonight's CTV web poll, we're asking, do high bacteria levels keep you from swimming at lakes or beaches? And the options are yes, I don't swim if the levels are high. No, I'm not worried about it. Or depends how high they are. We'd like your opinion at ctvnewsatlantic.ca. There's a look at St. John right now where it's 23 degrees and the Harbour Bridge will undergo its first 20-minute closure sometime this evening between 6:30 and 7:30 tonight. That was just information released a little earlier today. All right, let's get our first look at the weather. For that, we bring in Stephanie Seco. Steph?
Todd, we're checking out some showers this evening. They will begin to develop across much of the region, and that will continue into Friday as well for much of the Maritimes. As for those current conditions, 18 degrees at this hour in Halifax, 24 in Fredericton, and 24 in Charlottetown as well. Still feeling a little bit hotter once you factor in that humidex. Still at 6 o'clock in the evening, feeling close to those high 20s rather for much of New Brunswick. As for the winds, they've still been on the lighter and variable side for today. We'll see them pick up just slightly as we head into the day for Friday. And even in terms of those sustained winds, or those wind gusts rather, not too much. In terms of that precipitation, seeing some showers popping up through parts of southwestern Nova Scotia. The system will continue to push across much of Nova Scotia as we head into the early hours Friday. Seeing some showers as well through parts of New Brunswick, but otherwise seeing some sunshine there as well. The showers will eventually push over to Prince Edward Island, and I'll have more on this system coming up in just a little bit, Todd.
Okay, we'll see you in about 16 minutes. The division between Halifax Mayor Andy Fillmore and members of City Council only grew wider today. Council passed a motion asking to be consulted by the province as it decides whether to grant the mayor more power. CTV's Jonathan McGuinness reports.
If strong mayor powers are to be bestowed on Andy Fillmore's office by the province, the councillors around him would like to be kept in the loop.
The motion is simply asking the province, if you're thinking about making some changes here, we would like to be involved. I personally think the public should also have a say.
The motion passed. One letter will now be sent to the province asking to be informed if and when strong mayor powers could be granted to Fillmore. The second will go out to the Federation of Municipalities, asking them to take a similar stance and that they be consulted before any legislative changes are made.
There's been a habit of late in Nova Scotia of decisions just coming out of Province House without any advanced discussion, and I think we make decisions better if we engage with one another.
Many in the chamber today expressed concern about greater powers for the mayor, saying others who previously held the position still managed to move the city forward without them.
Our system is just not able to keep up with the demands that are being placed on it right now. We need to be moving much more agilely, responding to challenges much more quickly, and I know that the provincial government is looking for a partner that can do that.
Some municipalities in Ontario have strong mayor powers that allow for mayors to hire municipal division heads, create and appoint chairs of committees. It also grants them veto power and council override and the ability to appoint a CAO. Something that will happen soon after current CAO Cathy O'Toole submitted her resignation yesterday. The potential of strong mayor powers played a role in O'Toole's decision.
That is only one factor, you know, and there's been other changes to the CAO role even since I've become CAO.
The other part of Sam Austin's motion calls for a staff report on other municipalities that have strong mayor powers and take a look at how they've been implemented elsewhere in Canada. And Todd, now that it has passed, the strong mayor's motion will move fairly quickly. The letters to the province and the Federation of Municipalities are to be sent by July 22nd. Todd.
All right, John, at City Hall in Halifax tonight. Parking is free at Nova Scotia hospitals, but parking illegally at one health centre will cost you dearly. Drivers parking at the QE2 Health Sciences Centre in Halifax, that's anyone other than patients, visitors, or staff, will face a $500 fine. The ticket price jumps to $536 if not paid within 60 days. Too many people have been abusing free parking at the hospital. Security guards started ticketing vehicles today. Police in Fredericton have brought in outside counsel to investigate how an error by the force in 2 murder cases led to the accused going free. CTV's Nick Moore joins us from Fredericton. He has the details. Good evening, Nick.
Well, good evening, Todd. As announced on Wednesday, Ontario lawyer Ian D. Scott will lead the Fredericton Police Review after an error, which was revealed in late June, led to a stay in proceedings for the trials of 2 men who were murdered. Scott's resume includes being director of Ontario's Special Investigations Unit, which is a police watchdog there. CTV public safety analyst Chris Lewis says Scott is well respected in the field and for this type of work.
A very reputable, very highly experienced individual, and he will disclose whatever he can to the public because I know he has a strong belief in the public having a need to know.
But Fredericton police have already said that the public won't be told everything that comes out of this review about the incident that led to stays of proceedings in the death of Corey Christopher Markey in 2021 and the death of Brandon Donlan in 2022. A total of 5 people had been facing murder charges between the 2 cases, including one individual who was accused on being involved in both. Fredericton Police Chief Gary Forward is not giving interviews on the subject or the review, in a statement saying, "We take full responsibility and accountability for the circumstances that led to this outcome. As part of our acknowledgement and commitment to public trust, we are taking immediate steps to examine the error caused on our part and to prevent a reoccurrence."
It certainly doesn't happen with regularity. There has been similar cases in the past across the country where somehow or another evidence was improperly gathered or not disclosed to the Crown, which caused the stay of proceedings. In this case, the announcement by the chief to investigate that shows me that there's obviously more of an inadvertent issue here, but time will tell.
Now, neither Justice Minister Rob McKee nor Public Safety Minister Robert Gauvin have responded to our request for comment about the review or the error. Fredericton Police say that Scott will officially begin his review on Tuesday and that it should be finished before the end of the calendar year. Todd.
CTV's Nick Moore in our Fredericton studio for us this evening. Thank you, Nick. A New Hampshire man is facing uncertainty after he tried to return home from New Brunswick but was blocked at the border. Now, he's lived in the States for over 40 years and he goes back and forth at least once a year without an issue until now. He spoke to Michael Rosenfield of NBC News.
I'm a legal resident green card holder. I have been since 1981.
Chris Landry has lived in New Hampshire since he was 3 years old. He has a partner, 5 children, and a job in manufacturing. He was stopped at the border in Holton, Maine on Sunday while returning from a family vacation to Canada.
They pulled me aside and started questioning me about my past convictions in New Hampshire.
3 hours later, the 46-year-old was told he couldn't come home despite having a green card and being a legal U.S. resident. He spoke to us from New Brunswick, Canada.
They denied me re-entry and said, don't come back or we will detain you. And the only way for me to get back in was to see an immigration judge.
In 2004 and 2007, Landry faced charges of marijuana possession and driving with a suspended license, but says he's had no criminal record since. He was given a suspended sentence and paid his fines.
So I never thought that would threaten my status as a resident of the United States.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection telling us in a statement, possessing a green card is a privilege, not a right, and under our nation's laws, our government has the authority to revoke a green card if our laws are broken and abused. Lawful permanent residents presenting at a U.S. port of entry with previous criminal convictions may be subject to mandatory detention and/or may be asked to provide additional documentation to be set up for an immigration hearing.
Just very uncertain for me right now. I might end up spending the rest of my life in Canada, and who knows if I'll ever even have the right to re-enter the United States at this point.
Landry, who lives in Peterborough, New Hampshire, was with 3 of his children when he was stopped at the border. The children will make their way home in the days ahead. Landry says he goes to Canada at least once a year and has never had a problem until now.
Why do you think this time it's a problem?
Because of the new administration and their new policies.
As a Canadian citizen, he couldn't vote for president, but he did support Donald Trump.
I was definitely, all for Make America Great Again and having a strong, unified country and a bright future for my 5 American children. But now I feel a little differently.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Nearly a month after the electricity was turned off, few people remain at the Airport Inn. That's just outside Fredericton. As CTV's Ava McRae found out, those still there continue to be upbeat, even as they look for a new home.
The Airport Inn back deck was once a hive of activity. Weeks after the power was shut off and tenants were told to move out, a few of the once more than 25 remain.
Every person that has left
it's taken a chunk out of your heart.
In mid-June, NB Power turned off the lights after multiple issues were not fixed by the landlord. Residents were told the power would not return and to find a new place to live. Heather Lance and Mike Mugford are the final two people living in the back and will be moving into their new homes in the days ahead. There are still 5 displaced tenants out front.
Some are finding it hard, but they're not connecting, and a lot of times it's hard to find places that will approve social assistance. They don't want to do that. They don't want to go through that.
For a little over a week, longtime tenant Lorna Vigneault had been staying at a nearby hotel provided by the government as she keeps on the apartment hunt.
I've been finding a whole bunch of places, probably 20 places, still waiting for a lot of them to return my calls.
But on Monday, she and others were kicked out and now find themselves back at the Powerless Inn.
I was quite shocked and appalled that that happened. My assumption was they would be able to stay there until housing was found for them.
MLA David Kuhn has reached out to Social Development and NB Housing for an update on help for the remaining 5 tenants to find a new home. A late afternoon joint statement from the department say they have met with every affected individual from the hotel and have helped those who qualify for support programs. They say those who remain at the inn are doing so on their own choice. In an email sent to CTV today, the hotel's owner says once everyone has vacated the property, she intends to sell it. Avery McRae, CTV News, Fredericton.
Time for our first break of the evening. Still to come, showers moving into the region for Friday. Stephanie has the full details and the forecasts. But next, power play, pushing maritime energy and mining projects.
That will buttress a number of projects around Atlantic Canada.
Which initiatives are moving ahead and which are sputtering? We'll look at that next. For all the talk of energy projects in Nova Scotia, which are actually in the works? Well, the answer, at least for now, is not many. CTV's Hafsa Arif has more on what's moving, what's stalled, and why the energy sector may feel stuck in neutral.
There's been no shortage of conversation around Nova Scotia's clean energy future, from offshore wind to hydrogen to talk of an intra-provincial cooperation. But when it comes to real movement, things remain hazy.
There's lots of discussions that are going on with the federal government about Nova Scotia as a contribution to the energy superpower opportunity that Canada has.
The province wants to export clean electricity across the country. Wind is Nova Scotia's biggest bet, especially offshore. And all the maritime provinces have signaled interest.
That will buttress a number of projects around Atlantic Canada. And would work in conjunction with some of the projects that New Brunswick is talking about.
For quite some time, the province has been leaning into Wind West, a rebranded push for offshore wind power. But critics say without the infrastructure to move energy in and out of the province, it's all packaging.
Wind West is nothing without the grid, without the cable. So if there's any ask that comes from the province to Ottawa, that's where the ask has to be. I hope that that is the conversation that's happening. Without that, Wind West, or whatever you want to call it, can never happen.
Nova Scotia plans to issue its first call for offshore wind project bids this year.
The first order of business for me is sorting out with the federal government what's possible on transmitting the actual energy to the markets. If we can get a sufficient, transmission line, then we can do bigger bids.
The province believes Ottawa is interested in supporting building that infrastructure, but no real commitment has been made. The federal minister did say they'll look at all proposals. Hafsa Arif, CTV News, Halifax.
And we'll have some questions for the federal minister of energy that you saw in that piece. That's in our interview segment at 6:35, and you can read about more of all of this at ctvnewsatlantic.ca. All right, still to come, periods of rain with a risk of some thunder as well on Friday. Stephanie Seacos has the details for us right after this commercial break. The Shubenacadie, just one of the many beautiful rivers flowing through the Maritimes right now, and it's a good time to be on the water.
Yes,
Right?
you know, even with the overcast sky today, it was still a nice day to be outside. We did see a few showers popping up around Halifax, but not too bad. And it's sort of a nice bit of relief, too, from the heat that we've been seeing for much of the week.
Yeah, though we may want to be away from the water tomorrow.
Perhaps. We do have some showers on the way. It's the weekend that you'll want to head back to the water, though. We have lots of sunshine in the forecast, some very seasonal temperatures ahead as well. As for the rest of the country, right now we are still seeing some very mild temperatures for much of the west coast. 20 degrees in Vancouver at this hour. It's through much of the prairie, still dealing with some special air quality advisories due to wildfires there. Even some severe thunderstorm watches and warnings in effect around the Winnipeg area, where it is currently 28 degrees. As we head further east, it is 27 in Toronto, 28 in Montreal. We are seeing a severe thunderstorm watch and warning in effect for Montreal and the surrounding areas there this evening. Seeing a heat warning in effect for parts of Labrador. That includes Happy Valley, Goose Bay for the next several days. So temperatures will be very hot into the weekend. 28 degrees right now, and then 24 in Fredericton and Charlottetown, and 19 at this hour in Halifax. As for today, we'll see those temperatures dropping down to 14 for Halifax, 16 in Fredericton and Charlottetown. We'll be seeing a generally cloudy night across the region, but some showers will begin to develop across much of Nova Scotia. That system will continue to push across as we head into the day tomorrow. Some fog patches will also develop through the overnight hours. As for northern New Brunswick, tomorrow we'll see those showers begin to clear fairly early on. The sunshine will break through. Temperatures tomorrow between 22 and 25. The winds still on the lighter side for tomorrow. For central and southern areas of New Brunswick, generally a mix of sun and cloud, though there is still a chance, about a 30 to 60% chance of showers for this part of the region. Highs tomorrow between about 25 to 28 for more inland areas, a little bit cooler along the coast, 19 in Moncton, and 21 will be the high tomorrow in St. John. For Prince Edward Island, tomorrow we do have some showers in the forecast. That includes the Cavendish area, so just something to keep in mind. Maybe pack a rain jacket just in case. It won't be too severe, though the rain will be fairly on the lighter side, and the showers that will continue even into the evening hours. Saturday looking quite nice. Highs tomorrow around 17 degrees. For Cape Breton and eastern mainland Nova Scotia, tomorrow we'll see showers developing later on in the day with a risk of some thunderstorms in there as well, so something to keep in mind. Highs between about 16 to 19 degrees, so a few degrees below seasonal. For central areas of Nova Scotia, tomorrow we'll see showers for most areas. There is a risk of some thunder showers, so just a less severe thunderstorm. And we'll see those highs between about 18 to 23. And through southwestern areas of Nova Scotia tomorrow, starting off the day with some showers that will clear fairly early. Then we'll see the sunshine break out a little bit. Otherwise, just on the cloudier side, highs tomorrow between 18 and 23. As I've been talking about, we do have sunshine in the forecast for the weekend, so just need to get through those showers tomorrow, and then we'll see 26 degrees as the high Saturday, 25 on Sunday with that mix of sun and cloud. Plenty of sunshine to start the week as well in New Brunswick, with that temperature continuing to climb day after day, 28, 29, and then 31 degrees for Thursday. For Nova Scotia, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds Saturday with a high of 24. Plenty of sunshine Sunday, high of 22 degrees. And then we have a mix of sun and cloud over the next several days. So very fair weather conditions. But again, the temperature will begin to climb. 27 on Tuesday and 29 on Wednesday. And for Prince Edward Island, lots of sunshine both Saturday and Sunday, highs just above that 20-degree mark. But the temperature, again, climbing as we head into the week, getting up to 30 degrees by Thursday, Todd.
Those showers tomorrow just means you don't have to water the plants on the weekend.
Exactly. It saves you a chore.
More free time. Thanks, Steph. We'll see you later in the show. Coming up next, we'll have that conversation with the Federal Minister of Energy about getting projects moving in the Maritimes, and he has something to say about the Energy East pipeline, too. And then Katie is live in Cavendish.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. 60 seconds, 10 questions. If you can pull that off, you're going to win $1,000.
Join us every weekday at 7 a.m. for the $1,000 Minute.
Energy and Natural Resources Minister is in Charlottetown, hearing about initiatives here, and a long list, no doubt, of what folks would like to see him and the federal government get involved in. Tim Hodgson joins us from the island capital. It's nice to see you, Minister.
Nice to be here.
What are you hearing are the top priorities from those that you've met with so far?
So
What I'm hearing makes me really proud as a Canadian. What I'm hearing is all of the ministers are interested in the same thing, which is pulling together to make Canada stronger, to make Canada resilient in this challenging period. You know, we saw last night that copper got a 50% tariff increase put on it for August 1st. These types of arbitrary, unjust, illegal actions by other countries against Canada are really challenging Canadians, and they're creating real challenges right across the country as sector after sector is being hit by this new world that we live in, where we have to retool our economy. And what I'm hearing from all of my provincial and territorial partners is we want to be Canada strong. We want to work together. We want to bring the 13 economies into one economy that has tremendous benefits for particularly the Atlantic provinces, which have such high amounts of their economy being subject to interprovincial trade. Getting that right and getting the 13 economies to turn into one has big affordability benefits for people here in Atlantic Canada. And then the second thing is around building new projects. As the Prime Minister has said, we can't control what our friends south of the border do. What we can do is we can control what we do. And if we build Canada strong and create the new high-paying jobs, permanent jobs that'll come with some of these projects of national interest, that'll buttress us against some of the instability that is being created outside of our borders.
Let me ask you about energy projects. All maritime provinces have flagged wind energy as a potential one from this region. Nova Scotia would like a cable to export electricity to other markets to the west. Premier Houston has also mentioned perhaps one to Europe. Is that something that your government would support financially?
So the main project that's been talked about by all four Atlantic premiers is the Eastern Energy Partnership, which would see a strengthening of interties between the four Atlantic provinces, so that each province could benefit from the other's strengths with respect to energy production. I know with respect to Nova Scotia, Premier Houston is very bullish about offshore wind and the opportunity to generate very large amounts of offshore wind. That will buttress a number of projects around Atlantic Canada, and would work in conjunction with some of the projects that New Brunswick is talking about, Newfoundland is talking about, and in that project we're actually talking about connecting the region up with Quebec as well. And so that's a real opportunity to create long-term, well-paying, responsible, clean jobs here in Atlantic Canada for Canadians.
What about bringing a line from the west to the east? New Brunswick would like to see natural gas, but it would require a pipeline extension through Quebec. That has been dicey in the past. Is that something that you can see happening? So,
again, the federal government is going to work with provinces and proponents. If there's a proponent that wants to develop some linear infrastructure to bring electric transmission, to bring other forms of infrastructure and potentially a pipeline, if that proponent brings it forward and it's supported by the jurisdictions it goes through, we will be constructive in looking at that and measuring it against the 5 criteria for projects of national interest.
Sorry to jump in here. This is one that has been discussed. You know, it continues to be discussed off and on. Alberta Premier Daniel Smith has cooled on it. Industry certainly has. Would you say at this point any hopes of an eastern pipeline, the Energy East, the name that was given, the pipeline from Alberta through to the Maritimes to Tidewater, is that done? Is that a construct of the past? Should we move on from even thinking about that?
So I think what you need to focus on is there a proponent that wants to build that pipeline? I'm not aware of one today. If a proponent came back in the future because it was economic, then that can certainly be considered. I think today the costs associated with that pipeline would be very significant, and I'm not aware of a private sector proponent who is advocating for that today. If that came forward, we would certainly look at it against the criteria.
You worked many years in private industry, of course, and I'm just wondering if you're used to moving at a particular speed, and I'm wondering if that is feasible with these type of projects in government.
That's a great question. Look, I think what the Prime Minister has been clear, Canadians expect, sorry, we got a little phone call there. Canadians expect us to do things differently. We have committed that we are going to do our regulatory reviews in 2 years. That is faster than it's been done before, but that's what the Prime Minister campaigned on. He campaigned on the reality that if we are going to win this trade war that's been imposed on us, we are going to need to do things we have not done really in our history, and we're going to need to do things we haven't done at this speed since probably World War II. But that's what we got elected to do. That's what Canadians expect us to do. And that's what we have every intention of doing.
Minister, I know you're in Charlottetown for another little while. We certainly appreciate you taking some time for us tonight.
Thank you very much. I'm really enjoying being here.
That's the Minister of Energy and Natural Resources. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this. It's boots, hats, and good vibes on Prince Edward Island over the next 3 days. Music fans have flocked to the north shore of the island for one of the biggest weekends of the summer. The Cavendish Beach Music Festival began today, so that's the scene we find Katie Kelly at tonight. Katie.
Hey, Todd. So listen, I feel like I'm about to really excite a lot of people right now because my guest is not technically listed on the lineup. Lindsay Ell is here. It's so exciting. She is not just an award-winning singer-songwriter or the host of Canada's Got Talent. She's also the lead guitar player for Miss Shania Twain. Lindsay, could you, tell me, could you be any cooler?
You're so sweet. Honestly, playing guitar for Shania has been the dream I never knew I had. It's been so amazing to be able to become friends with the woman who inspired me to sing when I was a little girl. I remember her, one of the first singles I discovered Shania with was No One Needs to Know. And now I play that song with her on stage every night. And sometimes I still need to pinch myself and be like, is this real? My 10-year-old self is flipping out right now.
Yes. And just to see a woman guitar player too, it's just so cool. I know a lot of women do play guitar, but a lead guitar, I don't know, it's just extra cool. And then also we've seen Kendall Carson, who we kind of feel like is an honorary Maritimer because she plays with Alan Doyle and a lot of the locals, playing fiddle with Shania. So it's just, the whole thing is epic. So congrats, because you rock.
Thank you. I mean, Kendall and I have become besties. I love that woman so much. She's the perfect addition to the Shania band. And it's just a very much so girl power band. You will see anybody who watches the show later. It's so fun. There's a lot of girl power on stage happening.
Yeah. So I know this isn't your first time at Cavendish, but of course we love to hear what visitors think of our beautiful Maritimes.
I always love coming to the Maritimes. It's one of my favorite places just because everybody's so friendly, the weather's amazing, the food's amazing. Like, what is there not to love? It's like the minute I land, I just can like exhale.
Oh, you're speaking my language. I just love to hear that too. And speaking of the Maritimes, of course we know you as the host of Canada's Got Talent as well, which you kill that, by the way. But there was a lot of East Coasters on the show this year, so we got to shout out like the Martin Boys, Dee Dee Austin. Can you speak just a little bit to the talent that comes out of the East Coast?
Honestly, like, talent just oozes from anybody who comes from the East Coast. For sure, I think that music is just in your blood from the minute you're born out here. I think it's just so much a part of the culture and a part of what you grow up around. And so there's no doubt when any contestant comes on Canada's Got Talent and is like, we're from the East Coast, I'm like, they're gonna be good. I just already know it. They're gonna be good.
I love everything that you're saying. Speaking of very good, you are amazing as a solo artist. You're absolutely killing it. I know you have a brand new song coming out tomorrow, Magic. So give us the deets on that. And of course, we want everybody to go listen to that tomorrow when it drops.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm releasing a brand new EP. And to lead that off, I'm dropping a new single called Magic. It's just about like anytime when you're chasing your dreams, of all of the ups and downs that you sort of face in that. And I can't wait for everybody to hear it.
And it's funny because we were talking before we went on air just how busy you are this summer with Shania and of course your own tour. So talk to me about the craziness that is this next couple months for you.
I mean, it's been absolutely my favorite thing on the face of the planet because I get to do shows with Shania and then I get to zigzag to my own shows and then come back on tour with Shania and then come do my own shows again. So I remember as a little girl like praying on my bed of just like being busy on the road and touring, and now I'm getting to live that dream and I just feel so grateful.
Oh, well, we are so happy to be part of that. Cannot wait to see you on stage with Shania here at the Cavendish Beach Music Festival. Lindsay L., you are awesome and we're just so excited to have you here, so thank you so much for being on the East Coast once again.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I will come back any chance I can get.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you soon then.
Okay, perfect.
See you soon. I'm going to throw back to Todd in the studio.
Thank you, Katie and Lindsay there in the Luxury Lounge in Cavendish. Of course, Katie will be there tomorrow night. All right, we'll take a break. We'll wrap things up after this. We had to park our market report tonight because of time reasons. Visit B&M Bloomberg for the business headlines of the day and the closing numbers. Let's go now to Steph, who's on the weather deck with one more look at the forecast.
It's certainly not as nice out here tonight, Todd, as it has been the last night anyway. A little bit breezy, a little bit on the cooler side. We'll be seeing some showers developing across much of the region tonight and into tomorrow. I'll have more on that in a moment, but let's take a look at tonight's weather photo. Beautiful shot taken at a marina in Cape Breton by Rosemary Woods. Beautiful there. Thank you so much for sending that in. I'm still in for Kaylin for one more day, so feel free to send your weather photos my way for Friday. As for the forecast there tomorrow, we'll be seeing some showers and some thunderstorms popping up as well, getting up to a high of 17 degrees. Now, as for the rest of the Maritimes tomorrow, we'll be starting off the day with lots of cloud cover, still some fog patches early on. Those will clear fairly early on as well. Showers, though, developing across the region. They will be fairly light in nature as we head into the afternoon hours. We'll still see that cloud cover, some sunshine though breaking through generally through New Brunswick. We'll be seeing some rainier conditions tomorrow in Cavendish, but temperatures though fairly seasonal, though a few degrees below. That's a look at your forecast, and we'll see what's coming up tomorrow on CTV Morning Live.
Friday on CTV Morning Live, Under the Sea. We stopped by the Back to the Sea Center in Dartmouth to get a tour of their touch tanks full of local marine life. News, weather, and more. It's everything you need. CTV Morning Live, Friday.
Finally tonight, are you the mystery owner of an $11 million handbag that just sold? The original Birkin bag that the fashion house Hermes created for actor and singer Jane Birkin just sold for 7 million euros at auction in Paris today. The huge amount blew past what the auctioneer Sotheby's had said was the previous record for a handbag. The Birkin bag became fashion's must-have accessory, created for the Star by the Paris fashion house in 1984. It was because of a discussion they had on an airplane, actually, with she and the CEO of Hermès. The commercialized version of the bag has become a phenomenon, one of the most exclusive luxury items on the planet. That's a look at our day here at home. We'll run it in a moment on CTV2. Bruce Frisco back in this chair at 11:30 with your late update after CTV National. And CTVNewsAtlantic.ca is updating our stories. The forecast is there as well. We hope to see you back here for the Friday edition tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Until then, have a good night.
CTV News, the Maritime's #1 newscast.